My wife slept with an urban beekeeper and abandoned our 3 kids. Now she returned begging, so I gave her an answer she'll never forget. I'm staring at spreadsheets at 2 a.m. Again. Not for work, those I can do with my eyes closed. These are personal bank statements, credit card transactions, investment portfolios, the kind of financial autopsy you perform when your life implodes and you need to understand exactly how dead you are. 3 months since Vivian left. 3 months since I came home from a client meeting to find half the closet empty and a note on the kitchen counter, not even handwritten, printed in Arial font, 12-point, like she was submitting a resignation letter to HR. Cole, I need to find myself. I've been suffocating in this life we built. I'm finally free. Don't look for me. Tell the kids I love them. That was it. 12 years of marriage, 3 kids, and she gave me 4 sentences in Arial font. The kids were at school when I found it. I had 3 hours to process my entire world collapsing before picking them up. 3 hours to figure out how to explain to Leia why Mommy's car wasn't in the driveway. How to tell Jonah his mother wouldn't be reading him stories anymore. How to help Em understand why her favorite dress, the one Mommy always helped her put on, was gone from her closet because Vivian had taken it. She took our 4-year-old's dress. Who does that? I should have seen it coming. The yoga retreats that went from monthly to weekly. The new circle of friends I'd never met but heard constantly about. People with names like Journey and River who were helping her unlock her authentic self. The way she'd look at me during dinner like I was a stranger who had wandered into her house. But I'm a forensic accountant. I track money, not emotions. I can spot embezzlement from a mile away, but I couldn't see my wife planning her escape right in front of me. Daddy, when's Mommy coming home? Em had asked that first night. Soon, baby. I'd lied, tucking her in with Mr. Patches, her stuffed rabbit. She just needs a little vacation. Leia knew better. 9 years old and sharp as a blade, she had looked at me with those brown eyes, Vivian's eyes, and said, "She's not coming back, is she?" "I don't know, sweetheart." "Good," Leia had said, turning away. "She made you sad all the time anyway. Kids see everything. We think we're protecting them with our fake smiles and closed-door arguments. But they know. They always know." The first month was survival mode. Getting the kids to school, making dinners that weren't cereal, learning to braid Em's hair via YouTube University. Thank God. Jonah started wetting the bed again. Leia stopped talking about school. Em carried Mr. Patches everywhere and wouldn't let anyone wash him. Month 2, I tried reaching out. I called Vivian's phone. Disconnected. Emails bounced back. Her sister claimed she didn't know anything, but her voice did that high-pitched thing people do when they're lying. Even her parents went radio silent, and I'd known them for 15 years. So here I am, month 3, doing what I do best, following the money. I pull up our joint savings account history. We'd been building it for years. The vacation fund, the kids' college fund, the emergency fund, all rolled into one because Vivian insisted we didn't need separate accounts. "That's what trust looks like," she'd said. The balance should have been $51,000 and change. I remembered checking it last month when I paid for Leia's dance classes. I refreshed the page. Maybe it was a system error. The screen loaded. Balance, $4,127.83. My chest went tight. I clicked through the transaction history. 3 days after she left. 3 days while I was still in shock, still telling the kids Mommy would be back soon. She had made 4 separate withdrawals. $11,000, $12,000, $11,000, $13,000, each just under the federal reporting limit. She had planned this, calculated it, timed it. The woman who couldn't remember to pay the water bill on time had executed a perfect financial extraction. I looked at the timestamp on the last withdrawal, 3:47 p.m. That was when I was picking up the kids from school that day while Em was crying because Mommy hadn't shown up for her preschool Mother's Day craft project. My phone buzzed, unknown number, a text with a photo attachment. I opened it. Vivian, tanned and smiling, holding a champagne glass on what looked like a rooftop bar, some guy's arm around her waist. Young, bearded, man bun. The city skyline behind them wasn't ours. The message underneath, living my truth now. Please don't contact me. I'll reach out when I'm ready. I stared at the photo, at the champagne, at the designer dress I didn't recognize. $47,000 of our children's future, and she's drinking champagne with some hipster on a rooftop. That's when I decided I'm going to destroy her. I screenshotted everything, the photo, the number, the timestamp, then forwarded it all to a new email account I created just for this purpose. If Vivian wants to play games, she picked the wrong opponent. I investigate financial crimes for a living. This is just another case now, and she's just another perpetrator. First step, identify the hipster. I reverse image searched the photo, nothing. But there was a reflection in the champagne glass, a neon sign. I enhanced it, flipped it, Honeycomb Haven. Quick Google search. It's an urban beekeeping supply store with a rooftop bar in Asheville. 5 more minutes of searching and I found him, Axel Cruz, 28, owner of Asheville Urban Apiaries. His Instagram was a goldmine of pretentious sustainability posts, teaching the city to buzz with life, one hive at a time. Jesus Christ. His whole feed was shirtless beekeeping photos and roomy quotes. I scrolled back through his posts. 3 weeks ago, a farmer's market stall. 4 weeks ago, installing hives on some tech company's roof. 6 weeks ago, there she was. Vivian laughing at something off camera, holding a jar of honey, tagged location Riverside Farmer's Market. Tagged 3 months ago when she was supposedly at a wellness retreat in Sedona. I checked her credit card, statements from that weekend. Flights to Asheville, not Arizona, hotel charges at the Bohemian Garden Inn, not the Desert Spirit Resort she told me about. My hands were steady as I documented everything. This is what I do. This is what I'm good at. I created a fake Instagram account, some random nature photography profile, and followed them both. Vivian's account was public now. It used to be private when we were married, but apparently her authentic self needs an audience. The posts made me sick, her in flowing dresses talking about shedding toxic energy, sunset photos with captions about choosing joy over obligation, a picture of her feet in expensive sandals with walking away from what no longer serves me, what no longer served her. That's what we became, a service she could cancel. Leia walked into my office rubbing her eyes. Daddy, why are you awake? Just working, baby, go back to bed. She climbed into my lap instead and saw Vivian's photo on my screen. Her face hardened in a way a 9-year-old's face shouldn't. Is that Mommy? Yeah, she looks different. She does. The Vivian I married wore cardigans and sensible flats, hair in a ponytail while she made lunch for 3 kids. This Vivian had beach waves and a nose ring, dressed like she was heading to Coachella. Is that her new family? Leia pointed at Axel. No, sweetheart. We're her family. That's just someone she knows. Leia stared at the screen for a long moment. She's not wearing her wedding ring. I hadn't noticed, but she was right. Her hand was visible holding the honey jar, fingers bare. Go back to bed, Lil. School tomorrow. She hugged me tight before leaving. Don't be sad, Daddy. We don't need her. After she was gone, I dove deeper. I cross-referenced Vivian's business accounts with her personal spending. She ran, or used to run, serene spaces, wellness retreats, organizing luxury mindfulness weekends for stressed executives. The business account should have been separate, untouchable. But there it was, transfers from serene spaces to her personal account. Small at first, $500 here, $700 there, then bigger. $3,000, $5,000, always just before trips to Asheville. She had been stealing from her own company, from her business partner Deirdre, who had invested her retirement savings into this venture. I checked the retreat schedules against her Asheville trips. Every time she was supposedly leading a retreat, she was with him. The clients were charged full price for retreats that never happened. They got postponed last minute due to unexpected circumstances and were offered future credits instead of refunds. This wasn't just abandonment, it was fraud. I pulled up the business registration. Serene Spaces LLC. Vivian was listed as CEO, but I was listed as CFO, a formality she'd said, just for tax purposes. I never had actual involvement, but legally my name was on it. If she went down for fraud, she could take me with her. I checked the time, 4:17 a.m. In a few hours, the kids would wake up. I'd make breakfast, pack lunches, pretend everything was normal. But first, I sent one more email to my new documentation account. Subject line, evidence of embezzlement. As I was about to close the laptop, another notification popped up. Vivian had posted something new 2 minutes ago. It was a photo of legal documents. Asheville Municipal Office was visible in the header. The caption, sometimes you have to destroy the old to build the new. #new beginnings, #authentic life. I zoomed in on the documents, business license application for a new wellness company with Axel Cruz listed as co-owner, using the exact same service model as Serene Spaces. She wasn't just stealing money, she was stealing the entire business. I called my lawyer at 7 a.m. sharp. She answered on the first ring. Cole Mercer, I've been wondering when you'd call. You know about my situation? I know. Deirdre Huang hired an attorney last week to investigate missing funds from Serene Spaces. Your name came up. My stomach dropped. I had nothing to do with... I know. I've already reviewed the corporate structure. You're a figurehead CFO. Zero access to accounts. No transaction history. No signatures on anything except the original formation documents. But Vivian, she's been busy. How busy? Meet me at 9. Bring everything you have. I dropped the kids at school. Em clung to my leg until her teacher gently pried her off. Jonah wouldn't look at me, just walked straight to class. Laya squeezed my hand and said, "Have a good day, Daddy," like she was the parent. Maya's office was all glass and steel, 23rd floor. The kind of place that makes you feel serious business happens here. Maya herself was terrifying in the best way. Early 50s, silver hair in a perfect bob, wearing a suit that cost more than my mortgage payment. "Show me what you've got," she said. I laid it all out, the withdrawals, the fake retreats, the embezzlement, the new business filing. Maya took notes without looking up, occasionally making small humming sounds. "This is good, very good. But we need more." More? She's planning something bigger. This business in Asheville, it's a front. She's trying to transfer all of Serene Space's client list and intellectual property. The retreats that were postponed? She's going to honor those credits at her new company, making it look like a legitimate business transition. That's theft. That's genius, actually. Unless we can prove intent to defraud. Maya leaned back. We need her communications with clients, with Axel, with anyone involved in this scheme. I can't access her emails, no, but Deirdre can. Serene Space's emails are corporate property. Maya smiled, and it was sharp enough to cut glass. I'll coordinate with Deirdre's attorney. In the meantime, you need to protect yourself. She slid a stack of documents across the desk. Asset protection strategies. Move everything you can into trusts for the children. Retirement accounts, investment portfolios, the house, everything. Make yourself judgment-proof. Isn't that hiding assets? It's protecting your children's future from their mother's crimes. Everything legal, everything documented. You're not hiding anything. Just restructuring. I spent the next week following Maya's playbook. New bank accounts with the kids as beneficiaries. Educational trusts that couldn't be touched in a divorce. Life insurance with ironclad beneficiary designations. I even transferred the house into an irrevocable trust with the kids as sole beneficiaries when they turned 25. Vivian might have taken $47,000, but she wouldn't get another penny. Between the legal maneuvers, I kept digging. A private investigator Maya recommended started sending me photos. Vivian and Axel at high-end restaurants, shopping at boutiques, a weekend at a spa resort that cost $3,000 a night, all while she had been texting me that she couldn't afford to send birthday gifts for the kids. Then Deirdre called me directly. "Cole, I found something you need to see." She forwarded me an email thread. Vivian to Axel, dated 2 months before she left. The retreat in September will be our trial run. I'll handle the clients. You provide the venue. Once we prove the model works, I'll exit the marriage and we can launch properly. Cole won't fight it. He's too passive. Probably won't even hire a lawyer. Axel's response, "What about the kids?" "Vivian, they're anchors. I love them, but they're drowning me. Once I'm established in Asheville, maybe I'll revisit custody, or maybe not. Freedom means making hard choices. Anchors." She called our children anchors. I forwarded everything to Maya, then sat in my car outside Jonah's school for 20 minutes trying to breathe normally. When I finally walked in for pickup, his teacher pulled me aside. "Mr. Mercer, Jonah had an incident today. He told another child his mommy died. When we tried to correct him, he insisted it was true. I'll talk to him. There's something else. He drew this during art time." She handed me a picture, a house with 4 stick figures out front, 1 tall, 3 small, where the 5th figure should be. There was just black scribbles. He said that's where Mommy used to be, but now it's just dark. I'm about to respond when my phone buzzes. Text from an unknown number, "Stop digging or I'll file for full custody. I know about the trust transfers. Hiding assets looks bad in family court." 5, I text back, "Try it." 3 dots appear, then disappear, then appear again. Finally, I want to meet. Neutral location. We need to discuss the children's future. Before I can respond, another message comes through. This time from Maya. Don't answer her yet. Deirdre just found something explosive. Axel Cruz has a sealed juvenile record, and Vivian's been lying about more than just the money. Maya's office felt different this time. She wasn't sitting behind her desk. She was pacing, laptop open on the coffee table, documents spread across every surface. Axel Cruz, age 15, arrested for theft, broke into 3 homes in his neighborhood, stole approximately $30,000 worth of jewelry and electronics, sealed juvenile record, but public court indices still show case numbers. A good PI can work with that. How bad? He got probation, community service. Here's the interesting part. His co-defendant was his 17-year-old girlfriend. She convinced him to do it, said they'd run away together with the money. Sound familiar? Vivian wasn't his first older woman. Pattern behavior. But that's not the explosive part. Maya pulled up bank records on her laptop. Vivian's been lying about her parents. What about them? She told you they cut contact, right? Well, they've been sending her money. Monthly transfers of $5,000 for the past 8 months. They're funding this whole escapade. I thought about every time I offered to reach out to them to mend whatever rift existed. Vivian always shut it down, said they were toxic, said we were better off without them. Meanwhile, they were bankrolling her exit strategy. So when she wants to meet, she's getting desperate. The money's running out. Deirdre's investigation is closing in, and her parents probably won't fund her forever. Maya handed me a fresh legal pad. She wants to negotiate. Good. Let her think she has leverage. I texted Vivian back. Ramon's Cafe. Thursday, 2 p.m. Bring whatever documentation you think matters. She responded immediately. I'll be there. The next 3 days were strategic preparation. Maya drafted the divorce papers. Not just standard dissolution, but a comprehensive package, abandonment charges, fraud documentation, custody arrangements, everything filed and ready, just waiting for signatures and service. Bring the kids, Maya suggested. That's cruel. That's accountability. She needs to face what she abandoned. Besides, don't you want to know if she'll even acknowledge them? Wednesday night, I sat the kids down. Mommy wants to meet tomorrow. Em lit up. Is she coming home? No, baby. She just wants to talk. Leia crossed her arms. I don't want to see her. You don't have to, but if you want to tell her anything, this might be your chance. Jonah spoke for the first time in days. Will her new boyfriend be there? I don't know. I want to see him, Jonah said quietly. I want to see who she picked instead of us. That broke my heart clean through. Thursday morning, Leia announced she was coming. Someone needs to protect you, Daddy. I dressed them in their best clothes. Not to impress Vivian, but because I wanted them to feel confident. Leia wore the dress she picked out herself last month, Jonah in the blazer he wore to picture day, Em in her favorite unicorn sweater. Maya met us outside Ramon's at 1:45. The process server was across the street. I'll be 3 tables away. Signal if you need me. Ramon greeted us at the door. He'd owned the place for 10 years and knew our whole story. Your regular table's ready, Cole. It was the one by the window where Vivian used to Instagram her matcha lattes and avocado toast. #grateful, #blessed life, #morning vibes. The same table where, 6 months before leaving, she told me she felt like she was performing happiness instead of living it. We sat. The kids colored on the paper placemats Ramon brought. I watched the door. 2 o'clock came and went. 2:07. My phone buzzed, running late. Order without me. 2:15. Leia asked if we could leave. 2:18. The door chimed. Vivian walked in looking like she had stepped out of a lifestyle blog. Flowing cream dress, minimalist jewelry, that new nose ring catching the light. She had lost weight, gained a tan, looked 10 years younger. She saw us and froze. Her eyes went to the kids first. Em waved. Jonah stared. Leia didn't look up from her coloring. My babies, she said, moving toward them. Sit down, I said. We're here to talk. She took the chair across from me and reached for Em pulled back, clutching Mr. Patches. You brought them to ambush me, you left them, they get to be part of this conversation. She was about to respond when the door chimed again. Axel Cruz walked in, exactly what his Instagram suggested, man bun, purposefully distressed Henley probably had Carpe Diem tattooed somewhere. He saw us and started toward the table. You brought him? I kept my voice level. I need support too. Axel pulled up a chair and started to introduce himself to the kids. That's when Leia finally looked up. We know who you are, she said. You're the one Mom picked. The temperature at the table dropped 10 degrees. Vivian reached into her bag. Let's just get this over with. She pulled out a folder, legal documents, but before she could open it, my phone buzzed. Text from Maya, look at his wrist. I glanced over. Axel was wearing my vintage Rolex, the exact one Vivian bought me for our 10th anniversary, the one that went missing from my dresser the week before she left. I didn't react to the watch, not yet. Let them think they're in control. Vivian spread her documents on the table. I've been thinking about what's best for everyone. I'm willing to consider joint custody. Consider? Laya's voice cut through the cafe noise. You left for a year and now you want to consider being our mom? Lila, honey, you don't understand. I'm 9, not stupid. Leia pulled out a folded paper from her pocket. I wrote you a letter. She unfolded it and started reading in her clear, strong voice. Dear Mom, you left us on March 15th at 3:30 p.m. I know because I was watching from my window when your car drove away. You took my favorite dress, the one with butterflies. You didn't take any pictures of us. You missed Jonah's birthday, M's preschool graduation, and my dance recital where I got the lead role. Dad learned to French braid for M. He reads stories with voices now, not like before when he was too tired. We're happier without you. Vivian's face was cracking. Baby, I'm not done. Leia kept reading. We don't want joint custody. We want to stay with Dad. He didn't choose someone else. He chose us. Jonah pulled out his own letter, his handwriting messier but his words clear. You said kids were anchors. I looked it up. Anchors keep ships safe in storms. Dad says we kept him safe when you left. We pick him too. Even M, clutching Mr. Patches, managed. Daddy stays. You go away. Vivian's breathing was fast, shallow. Axel shifted uncomfortably, pulling at his collar, and his sleeve rode up, fully exposing my Rolex. Nice watch, I said. He glanced down and realized his mistake. Vivian gave it to me. Did she mention she stole it from me? I didn't steal anything, Vivian snapped. Community property. Actually, I pulled out my phone and showed them the photo. I reported it stolen to the police the week you left. Case number right here. That's receiving stolen property. Axel, your juvenile record won't help with sentencing. His face drained. What juvenile record? The sealed one from when you were 15. Breaking and entering. Your girlfriend at the time convinced you to do it, right? Older woman promised you'd run away together. Vivian turned to him. What's he talking about? But I continued, sliding a photo across the table. This was taken last Tuesday. That's you, isn't it, Axel? Coming out of the Moonrise Hotel with someone who definitely isn't Vivian. The woman in the photo was young, blonde, laughing as Axel kissed her neck. That's just a client, he stammered. Clients require neck kissing? Interesting business model. Vivian snatched the photo and stared at it. Her mask didn't just crack. It shattered. You said she meant nothing, she whispered to Axel. She doesn't. That's Harlow. That's my fucking assistant. Now I pulled out the divorce papers. Fully executed, filed with the court yesterday. While you two sort that out, let's handle our business. Maya appeared at my shoulder, right on cue. Mrs. Mercer, I'm representing Mr. Mercer in the dissolution proceedings. These papers have been filed. You're being served. The process server approached from across the cafe. Vivian Hart? She didn't answer, still staring at Axel. Ma'am, you've been served. He placed the papers in front of her. Additionally, Maya continued, we filed for emergency custody based on abandonment. The hearing is Monday. Don't bother showing up. We have everything documented. I slid another stack across. The fraud investigation into Serene Spaces. Deirdre's pressing charges. The IRS has been notified about unreported income. Your parents' transfers needed to be declared. You owe approximately $120,000 in taxes and penalties. Vivian's hands were shaking. You can't. And this, I placed the final document down, is a cease and desist. Your new wellness company uses proprietary methods developed for Serene Spaces. Deirdre owns that intellectual property. You launch that business. You'll face civil and criminal charges. Axel stood abruptly. I'm not going down for this. Sit, Maya commanded. The police are already on their way about the watch. The whole cafe was watching now, someone recording on their phone. Ramon was behind the counter, not even pretending to work. Vivian looked at me, tears finally starting. Please, I made mistakes, but... Mistakes? I leaned forward. You called our children anchors. You stole their college fund. You chose him. I pointed at Axel, and he chose your 22-year-old assistant. I can explain. No. I stood and helped Em down from her chair. We're done. Kids, say goodbye to your mother. All three of them looked at her. Then, in perfect synchronization, like they had practiced it, which they hadn't, they turned and walked toward the door. Wait! Vivian was desperate now. There's something you don't know about why I really left, about what I found out about you. I paused at the door. Nothing you say matters anymore. Not even the fact that I know about Deirdre, about what happened between you two before I left. The cafe went silent. Even my kids turned to look at me. Maya's hand tightened on my arm. Don't engage. But I could see it in Vivian's eyes. She wasn't bluffing. She knew something. I turned back to face her, keeping my voice steady. Go ahead, say what you need to say. Vivian's eyes gleamed with desperate triumph. Deirdre came to you about her suspicions 3 months before I left. You two met for dinner to discuss the books, then drinks, then I went home to my wife and kids. I cut her off. Deirdre suspected you were stealing. She wanted my professional opinion. I told her to hire an independent auditor because I couldn't be objective. That's it. Her husband saw you at a Marriott bar discussing forensic accounting. Deirdre's husband was paranoid because she'd been acting strange. Because she was investigating you. We have 12 emails all CCing Maya's firm, all about the embezzlement you were committing. I pulled up my phone and showed the email chain, every meeting documented, every conversation about her theft. While you were in Asheville with your boyfriend, I was trying to protect Deirdre's investment from you. Vivian's last card crumbled. She slumped in her chair. The difference between us, I continued, is that when someone trusted me, I protected them. When we trusted you, you robbed us. 2 police officers entered the cafe. Maya nodded to them and pointed at Axel. Mr. Cruz, we need to ask you about a stolen watch. Axel looked at Vivian with pure venom. This is your fault. You said he was weak. You said this would be easy. Don't put this on me. You're the one who, believed your lies? Yeah, I did, just like your husband did, just like those clients did. He turned to the officers. I'll return the watch. She gave it to me. Said it was hers to give. As they escorted him out, he stopped at our table and looked at my kids. Your mom's right about one thing. You were anchors, but not to her, to reality. She couldn't pretend to be enlightened with you around needing actual parenting. Vivian broke completely. Ugly crying. The kind that smears makeup and brings snot. The Instagram perfect image finally, fully destroyed. I want to fix this, she sobbed. Please let me fix this. Maya stepped forward. You can start by signing the divorce papers uncontested. Walk away clean, or we pursue criminal charges for the theft, the fraud, and the embezzlement. Your choice. Vivian looked at the papers, then at the kids. Em was hiding behind my leg, Jonah stone-faced. Leia was writing something in her notebook, not even watching her mother's breakdown. She signed every page, every line. The custody arrangement, supervised visits once a month pending family court approval. Given the abandonment and the criminal investigations, that's generous, Maya stated. Vivian signed those too. Ramon brought her a glass of water. She didn't touch it, just sat there destroyed while the cafe slowly returned to normal conversation around us. The business? She asked quietly. Gone. Deirdre is filing for dissolution. Your clients are being refunded. Your reputation in the wellness industry is finished. Your parents will probably be audited for their unreported gifts to you. She stood on shaking legs and looked at me one last time. I did love you once. I know that's what makes this worse. She walked out alone. No boyfriend, no suitcase, no dramatic exit, just a broken woman who bet everything on a fantasy and lost. 6 months later, I'm making breakfast when Leia shows me her tablet. Mom's working at a juice bar in Tucson. Her Instagram is gone, but someone spotted her and posted about it. She looks older, tired, wearing a green apron and forcing a customer service smile. You feel bad for her? Leia asks. I feel nothing, I answer honestly. She's a stranger who used to live here. The divorce was finalized 2 months ago. Vivian got nothing except debt from the IRS. Axel pleaded down to a misdemeanor, paid a fine, disappeared to Oregon. Deirdre recovered some funds through insurance and started a new company with proper financial controls, this time without Vivian. Vivian has seen the kids exactly twice in supervised visits. Both times she spent more time crying than talking to them. Em doesn't ask about her anymore. Jonah is back to straight A's. Leia's dancing lead in another recital. Dad, Jonah calls from the living room. Can Trevor's mom pick me up for practice? Sure, buddy. Trevor's mom is Naomi, aerospace engineer, divorced 3 years, has coffee with me sometimes while the boys practice. She doesn't know the whole story yet. Maybe someday. My phone buzzes. Message from an unknown number. This is Vivian. New number. I'm getting help. Real help. Therapy. Accountability. The works. I don't expect forgiveness. Just wanted you to know I understand now. The kids deserved better. You deserved better. I'm sorry. I delete it without responding. Leia appears at my elbow. Was that her? Nobody important. She nods and goes back to her breakfast. Good. The sunrise fills our kitchen with light. Em is singing some made-up song about pancakes. Jonah is explaining Minecraft to anyone who will listen. Leia is reading at the table, lost in her book. This is what Vivian called anchors, what she ran from, what she threw away for Instagram moments and rooftop champagne. But she was wrong. They're not anchors, they're the whole damn ship, and we're sailing just fine without her.